To say this is a highly sophisticated-looking piece of equipment. How do you know it wasn't made here?
Because I was told, for one, plus I also interviewed an official of the Canadian government who was actually on board the craft and visited with the intelligence that was on board.
He
seemed stunned.
Yes. He did what with the intelligence on board?
Visited with them, communicated, interacted. The individual, I believe, was taken on board, probably without being asked. Would
Did
you
you
like
speak to this
aboard?
individual of the Canadian?
Yes, I did.
About
the individual and arranged to have conducted a military polygraph exam.
That's a lie detector.
Yes, indeed.
And what was the result of that?
Well, let me put it this way. The polygraph examiner said, when we started in on this thing, there's absolutely no way this individual has to be making this up. When we completed the exam, which took approximately a week of extraordinary work just to construct the proper questioning procedure, polygraph examiner came away scratching his head, convinced not only was the witness telling the truth or believed exactly what the witness was saying, but also that this was not any form of hallucination or fantasy.
The witnesses, you call this Canadian gentleman, was the only person on board.
So you call him a gentleman. I haven't, I've been very careful to keep neutral with regard to gender.
Oh, so it was a woman.
That's an interesting conclusion.
You may be a scientist, but I know a bit about logic myself.
Right.
This is amazing. What did this person, he or she, or it, or whatever, relay about their conversations in italics with, or communications, I should say, with the intelligent life form?
Well, intriguingly enough, one of two entities that she had in direct encounter with apparently was dying, was quite ill. They apparently were conducting operations against their will, indicating that they were under control of some other intelligence, shall we say. Don't know what the other intelligence was, or at least I'm not at liberty to say what the speculation is at this point.
Well, what is the speculation? I mean, you can tell us.
I'd prefer not to get into that end of it, but let's just say
why not? I mean, I'm not asking you to, but why not?
Well, I think it would probably be inappropriate because it could, in fact, be rather indictable to a particular species of human, shall we say.
Us, in other words.
Well, not us, but a specific nationality of humans was referenced in this encounter. And it wouldn't be proper or fair to suggest or indict some nationality. It wouldn't be ethical, I'll say.
So they were being made to do this against their will. And how did they communicate?
Telepathically. Which is an interesting study in itself. Telepathic communication is quite intriguing because we've been able to learn that you could have 5 different individuals in a room, all speaking different tongues, and a telepathic communication could be transmitted to all 5 simultaneously, and the translation effect takes place within the individual. So, ironically enough, you don't have to know the language to conduct telepathic communication.
Well, if we could do it, I could know exactly what you were talking about with that particular species of human a few minutes ago. What did they look like?
They were approximately 4 feet tall. They had self-illuminating skin, was a bit on the sort of yellowish white. The eyes were rather large, black. We don't know if it was actually a coating because of sensitivity to the eyes, but it looked like those big wraparound sunglasses they used to have a couple of decades back.
And they were wearing clothes, this person?
They were wearing black jumpsuit type clothing, right.
Very natty. Right, let's have some more music. Jimmy Cliff on 1FM. Bob Oeschler, ex-NASA mission specialist, with me. Earlier on, Bob, you were talking about the fact that this craft may well have been given as part of some barter arrangement. You've got to tell me more about this.
Well, the fact that I was able to learn that at one facility, of which I understand that there are several, but I've not visited them, but at one facility there's housed 9 different types of craft. I assume all in operational condition from what I was told by people who were there. and that to have an operational craft, you would assume it didn't crash somewhere and was recovered, and presumably wasn't shot down, or you'd expect to find some kind of damage to it, unless, of course, some method of electromagnetic pulse weapon system or something like that might have been used to disable the craft, and then again you would expect to have some kind of damage in retrieval operation.
So you're maintaining that there's some sort of deal going on between the U.S. government, or the Allied governments, whatever they're called, in this New World Order, and some alien life form. There's some sort of arrangement.
Well, I asked Admiral Inman that question, if he was aware of any ongoing dialogues today. I probably should have left off the word today, because he indicated not to his knowledge. However, I did get the impression that from the period of 1979 to 1982, that there very well could have been some form of dialogue going on with at least one species. And that opens up yet another Pandora's box, because the evidence clearly suggests that there's more than one species involved, just like there's more than one nationality of human being, or species, if you will.
Well, we're talking about more than one genus, more than one...
Apparently so.
Yeah.
And in fact, even in this one, the creatures that I described just a little while ago, it clearly appears that there are different species of those. We find different features, like, for example, the same typical species would have a snout nose feature, whereas others have virtually no facial features. In other words, there's no prominent nose or mouth or anything like that.
What do they want from us?
Well, that, again, is a very difficult question to answer, because that would presume that we had some knowledge of the alien agenda. We don't really know what the alien agenda is. We can only derive from analysis the facts of what we see. Clearly, what is going on, there is, aside from the fact that there is a genetic engineering program, and that's another mix altogether, but apparently they have abducted, is a term that's been commonly used, human beings from all walks of life with no apparent rhyme or reason to a selection process. For at least 4 generations now, we've been able to document that they've been taken, given medical examinations, extract semen from males, extract eggs from females, fertilize eggs to a half-breed, shall we say, re-implant the egg in the womb. The female, of course, is pregnated, will carry the fetus for 3 months and will be re-abducted and the fetus extracted. In some cases, we've had twins where one of the twins was extracted just before birth, well, which is got to be quite a shock for a mother who, is told she's having twins for 9 months.
This is going on.
Going on, absolutely, right now, today, in very significant numbers.
And the government knows about it.
Absolutely.
And they're quite happy about it because some deal's been done.
We've evaluated as many as 3,000 cases in North America.
So out there in outer space, there's a whole lot of half-breeds going around, half alien, half human, and...
well, we don't really know what the purpose is for anything like that. I mean, maybe they're trying to seed another planet. Who knows what there's been speculation about they're trying to reinstitute some that are on the downside of an evolutionary curve. They're trying to reinstitute some lost qualities or something or other. We have also had some rather extraordinary cases, quite a number really, involving the study of human emotions, where they will create a scenario, almost being able to create a psychosomatic environment. Those who have seen the new features of Star Wars Deep Space Nine, they have a holodeck where they seem to be able to simulate a thing. Well, it's almost as if that sort of environment is created in order to extract or elicit from a human being a specific emotion. They'll take that individual into a specific room. We've identified the specific apparatus they'll use to put on the head of the individual, and they'll put a similar apparatus on the head of one of the aliens. Will somehow trigger a replay mechanism, if you will, and force the human to relive the experience mentally and transpose the whole emotional process to the entity. And then that one will get up, they'll bring another one in, and they'll go through this process 12 times for the same incident, for example. And it's kind of remarkable because one might assume, well, gee, with all this kind of technology, you'd think they have the ability to do a multiple memory dump or something or other, but that's clearly not, those aren't the facts of what we're getting in these cases.
Blimey. Bob Oeschler is my guest tonight. I'm going to have a chat to Bob about the technology of these craft. Are we using technology? How do these UFOs work? Because he studied that and he's got some interesting things to say. After this, from Joe Nama Trading. The night tonight, my guest Bob Oeschler, ex of NASA, talking about retrieved alien craft, landed alien craft that had been given to us as part of a barter with another life form. He's talking about the fact that humans have been taking on these craft. This is an ex-NASA scientist here. He says that it's just a matter of time before all this information is commonly known, sometime in the next century, no doubt. But they've got to drip feed it to us because it's too much for us all at once. It's certainly too much for me at this time of night, Bob. But you are a scientist. How do these spacecrafts work? Spacecraft. How do they work?
It's a very, very fascinating science because...
Don't be too technical.
No, I'll do my best. As Carl Sagan often has said,